Today we're going to cover the top 3 on-cloud walking shoes, and as a foot and ankle specialist I'm going to talk you through which shoe is best if you want to just pick up something for walking to the shops, or if you want a shoe for walking longer distances or spending long periods of time on your feet. At the end of the video I'll also talk through how these shoes may influence your gait and different types of foot conditions. So first of all, let's have a look at the Cloudsurfer 2. So this unique looking shoe not only has the classic Cloudtech phase midsole with the holes in the midsole, but it also has a unique rocker profile. So as you can see, it tilts back and forth with little pressure, therefore it assists with the push-off phase of the gait cycle. And as we look towards the cushioning on the shoe, it's nice and soft, so when you apply pressure to the heel it sinks into it, and it's extra soft in the forefoot, so lots of added extra compression, and it's really hard to bend in the forefoot, so it's quite stiff, and that really assists with that rocker profile, which we'll touch on later. So we've got a nice compressive cushioning in the Cloudtech phase technology, and as we look underneath the shoe, we've got ample outsole rubber on the forefoot and on the classic contact points on the heel. Historically with the on-cloud shoes we had issues with stones and pebbles getting stuck in the midsole, however we've had no issues with the Cloudsurfer 2 so far. And as we move up the shoe, we've got a very mild sidewall on the inside around the heel and on the outside too. These come up, help to cradle your foot to add extra elements of stability to the shoe. On top of the shoe we've got ample space for your toes to display, so we've got a relatively wide toe box, we've got a true to size and length, and we've got a padded tongue that's not gusseted, so it's not stitched in. We've got loads of padding around the heel cup, and it's relatively flexible for those of you who have sensitivity around the back of the heel. It's a super lightweight shoe, coming in around 255 grams for a size 9 men's US, and it comes in with a 9mm drop, so we've got 37mm of cushioning in the rear foot, 28 in the forefoot. So lots of padding and protection underneath your foot. So who should use this shoe? Well, if you want a rocker based shoe that's relatively stiff in the forefoot, this is an excellent option. If you want a lightweight shoe for doing shorter distance walks, this is also an excellent option for you as well. When we look at some more shoes with different types of padding in them, we can look at the Cloudmonster 2. So this is an exceptional shoe if you're looking for extra comfort, extra softness underneath your foot. So while it looks like it has a huge amount of padding, it has 35mm in the rear foot, 29 in the forefoot, giving you a 6mm drop. So slightly lower drop of 6mm compared to the 9mm that we see in the Cloudsurfer 2. It doesn't have the aggressive rocker profile that we saw in the Cloudsurfer 2, but it still has a relatively good forefoot rocker which helps with the propulsion phase of the gait cycle. Now it comes with a TPU plate that runs through the shoe, so this adds extra elements of stiffness to the shoe, so it's not as bendy or it's not as flexible as other shoes that you might see on the market. This helps to make the shoe more stable relative to the amount of cushioning that we see underneath. And then as we look at the outsole, we've got a classic amount of outsole padding on the forefoot and on the heel as well, and it comes up a little bit towards the midfoot. So we've had no major wearing in the shoe despite wearing it for over 50 kilometers, and again because the depth of the holes underneath, we don't have any issues with rocks picking up in the midsole. And as we move up the shoe, we've got larger sidewalls on the inside and the outside of the shoe. These help to provide stability to the shoe by cradling your ankle, and it's got a relatively flexible heel counter on the back, so those of you with sensitivity on the heel shouldn't have a problem. It's got a nice wide toe box, so you've got plenty of space for your toes to display. It's slightly wider than what we see in the Cloudsurfer 2. Again, it's a true to size and length, but it's got a much thinner tongue that's semi-gusseted. So we've got a padded tongue on the Cloudsurfer 2. On the Cloudmonster 2, it's really thin, semi-gusseted, so those of you who have issues with sensitivity around bite on the front of their ankle, something to be aware of. Otherwise, we've got ample padding around the heel cup, but not as much as what we see in the Cloudsurfer 2. And it comes in at around 295 grams, so slightly heavier than the other 2 shoes that we're reviewing today. But as a result of that, you get extra comfort, extra padding underneath your foot. So those of you who want a shoe for long distance walking, who have a job that involves spending long periods of time on your feet, whether that's standing and walking, this can be an excellent option for you. So one of our favorites overall, and it comes in a different array of colors if you want to check that out as well. Then finally, we have specific walking only shoe. And what we mean by that is the Cloudsurfer 2 and the Cloudmonster 2 can be used for walking and for running, but the Cloudtilt was specifically designed for walking only. Now we've got the Cloudtech phase technology in the midsole similar to what we had in the Cloudsurfer 2. However, you can see the holes are tilted at different angles in the heel, midfoot and the forefoot. So this means they're designed for absorbing impact in different ways. So the slight tilt forward on the heel helps to absorb impact when you initiate contact with the ground. and then tilt in the opposite direction helps with the propulsion phase of the gait cycle in the forefoot. Now it has the least aggressive forefoot rocker of all three shoes, however it's an ample forefoot rocker to facilitate that push off phase of the gait cycle. As we move underneath the shoe, we've got ample padding and rubber outsole on the bottom of the shoe, and we've got a large sidewall on the inside and the outside of the shoe, which makes the shoe slightly more stable than the other two. So we classify this shoe as a stable neutral shoe, the Cloudsurfer 2 as a neutral only, alongside the Cloudmonster 2. And then as we move up the shoe, we've got a slightly more plush upper than what we see in the other two shoes. So we've got an ultra lightweight single engineered mesh on the Cloudmonster 2, slightly more plush upper on the Cloudsurfer 2, and then we've got a similar one on the Cloudtilt. We've got the speed lacing system on the Cloudtilt that we see on the Cloud 6. So this means that you can just slip your foot in, you don't need to worry about tying your laces. So if you want a shoe that you can just pop in and go to the shops, this is an excellent option, and we really enjoy ease of just slipping on, whether we're just putting the bins down outside or popping out to the shops. It has the least amount of padding around the heel cup of all three shoes, and it's super flexible in the heel cup as well and heel counter. So again, those of you with sensitivity there will enjoy that. So overall, it's a stable neutral shoe. It's got loads of padding underneath your foot, with 35.5 in the rear foot, 26.5 in the forefoot, giving you a 9mm drop. So it's an excellent shoe if you want to go for longer walks, if you're walking around the city for a city break or going to Disneyland, or if you want a shoe that you can just slip on and pop to the shops. It does it all. It's really comfortable, lots of padding underfoot, and it's relatively stiff on the forefoot as well. We really enjoy the speed laces. It's an excellent addition to it compared to the traditional laces that we see on the other two shoes. So three excellent shoes overall. The Cloudtilt, specifically designed for walking only, has loads of padding underfoot and a little bit stiff. The Cloudsurfer 2 has an excellent forefoot rocker, has a really comfort focus, and it's really lightweight. Cloudmonster 2 has more padding underneath your foot and more comfort focus than the other two shoes, so it's an excellent option if you want a max stack shoe. In terms of where they fit and profiles of looking after different foot conditions, we know that a higher drop is better for Achilles tendon conditions on the whole, so 9mm is an excellent option that we see in the Cloudtilt and in the Cloudsurfer 2. We also know having an exceptional forefoot rocker helps to offload the Achilles tendon, so that can be really beneficial as well. When we're talking about conditions of the forefoot, a lower drop is generally better, so we might look towards the Cloudmonster 2, but having the excellent forefoot rocker on the Cloudsurfer 2 can make it an excellent option for offloading the forefoot as well. In terms of toe box space, I think we have the most amount of space in the Cloudmonster 2, however there's plenty of space in the Cloudsurfer 2 as well. And then when we're looking for a little bit more stability, all three shoes are neutral shoes, but we classify the Cloudtilt as a stable neutral. If you're looking for more of a stability focused shoe in the Cloud range, then we look at the Cloud Runner 2. Finally, if you're looking for a really lightweight shoe that's super flexible, then you might look towards the Cloud 6, which we have a review of in our catalogue. So we've got three excellent shoes built for a variety of different things. If you have any questions on them, please drop them in the comment section below. We got links to the shoes in the description if you want to check out the latest prices on Amazon. Otherwise, if you found the video helpful, like and share and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to the channel. Thank you very much for watching.